Bugler, sound officers call. Bugler, sound attention. All rise. Present the colors. Right shoulder, harm. Forward, heart. Present, harm. We'll now have the national anthem. Order, harm. Post the colors. Hello. Hey. Right shoulder, harm. Commandant's reform. You all may be seated. Father Brown?
Please all rise for the invocation. Let us pray.
Uncover.
We gather tonight to commemorate the founding of the United States Marine Corps. In the past 200 years, the Corps has endeavored to be always faithful in their duty to God and especially to our country. Father, bless us with your gift of fidelity tonight, that we may remain faithful in loyalty to you and to our country, both now and always. Bless the food prepared for us tonight. Bless the camaraderie of this evening. We ask this of you who lives and reigns, God, forever and ever. Amen.
Cover. 2. Bugle. Sound mess call. salute. Will the oldest Marine in the hall, Bernie Rahala, and the youngest Marine, John Grenier, please come forward. John Grenier. Traditional with the Marine Corps to give the first piece of our ceremonial cake to the youngest Marine, and the second piece of our ceremonial cake to the oldest Marine. The cake will be cut by Master Sergeant Major Bob Peterson, and will be presented by the Commandant Bob Corcoran. Please step back, gentlemen, give them some room. Fall out. Gentlemen, you may return to your seats. Cake detail, fall in. Microphone. Please be seated. No, we should have played them all. May I have your attention? Please. Your attention, please. Each year, the Commandant of the Marine Corps sends a message to all the troops. And the troops include the Marine Corps League and other organizations of Marines. We will now read the message from this year's message from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. This will be done by past Commandant Bill Winnan. A better copy if you want to use this splatter.
A message from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. During the past year, the American people have commemorated pivotal events in the history of our nation that have spotlighted why we make Marines and how we win battles. We honored nations and alliances that dared to act. We honored units and remembered the battles they won. However, the most powerful remembrances honored people, their devotion, and their many selfless acts of valor. People, individual Marines, have and always will be the strength of our Corps. This year, we stood in awe of their valor and determination. We saluted their courage and commitment. We remembered with reverence their sacrifice and accomplishment. But most importantly, we acknowledge their timeless virtues, virtues that mold our Corps today. That was truly a year to reflect on the accomplishments and contributions of generations of Marines, true American heroes, who, through their actions, emblazoned forever the name United States Marine across the campaigns of Pacific and Korea. Our warfighting legacy is one of duty, strength, sacrifice, discipline, and determination. These themes are cornerstones of the individual Marine and of our Corps. Indeed, they are woven into the very fabric of our battle color. However, while we reflect on our past, let us also rededicate ourselves to the future of improvement. For as good as we are now, we must be better tomorrow. The challenges of today are the opportunities of the 21st century. Both will demand much of us all. As we close on the 220th year of this faithful Corps of Marines, I have complete confidence that each of you, the Marines, sailors, civilians, and the families who support us and make up our Corps, is up to the challenges that lie ahead. Today, as we celebrate our proud history, enjoy our rich traditions, and honor those who have gone before us, let us also look ahead to a Corps the nation will turn to when she needs a force first on the scene, first to quell disturbances, first to fight, first to help. To a Corps that we build for our nation's future. To a 21st century Corps that stands ready when the nation, as she always has said, send in the Marines. Happy birthday, Marines. Semper Fidelis. C.C. Krulak, General, U.S. Marine Corps.
Thank you, Past Commandant Bill Winant. The other past commandants that were up here to accept the colors early in the evening were past Commandant, our first Commandant, Jack Hayward, who's here with his wife, Robert. Our second detachment Commandant was past Commandant Jim Hanley at the back of the hall. And as I indicated, Bill Winant was one of our past commandants. There at the front table is past Commandant Charlie Gilbert. And I'm the immediate past Commandant, Joe Harper. I would like to tell you who was in our color guard and also in the cake ceremony. We had our current Commandant, Sergeant Bob Corcoran. Sergeant Bill Reed. Master First Sergeant, I believe that's the correct title. Master Gunnery Sergeant. I got one of those blanks. Fred McGovern. I had to be careful on that one because one time he was called McGinnis and it's never ever been forgotten. And Sergeant Major Bob Peterson. It'd be interesting to note that these people cover an era from the Korean War through Vietnam and Desert Storm and also World War II. Those four. I'd like to introduce several other people of note here. In the Burlington Council, we have Larry Rice and about 20 some odd people from his detachment, Burlington. Larry? From the Essex County Detachment, we have Jerry Bowden and his wife Irene, and he has a contingent of about 10 people or so. VFW Post 2458 in Wilmington, the commander, Ed Williams. Past commander of the American Legion and currently a state officer, Joe Steen. His wife, Nancy. We have our local veterans agent, Paul Farrell, and his friend Irene. We have a contingent from the Knights of Columbus at the two rear tables of the hall. And many friends. We have a gentleman with us today who has been a staunch supporter of our detachment ever since it was organized 11 years ago. That is James Maselli. And Jim is our local state representative, and I would like to have him come up and say a few words to you.
Thank you very much, Joe. First of all, we had a glorious day today. We had a wonderful parade in Wilmington, and you folks did a great job, and I think the town owes you a vote of thanks. So I applaud you very much for what you did this morning. And that's the Marine Corps League and all of the veterans organizations assembled out there, and a good thank you to the Lions Club. I had occasion to talk to someone who was stationed at Hanscom currently, and he's a captain in the Air Force, and he's seeing a lot of action. And he told me a story this week. He said, you know, when you see a veteran, he said on Veterans Day, make sure you thank them. He said he parked behind a car the other day and there was a POW plate on it. He said, I got out of the car, and he's a career officer. Got out of the car, went over to the window, tapped on the window, the gentleman rolled the window down. He said, I noticed your plate. I want to thank you very much. And he said his wife was sitting in the front seat and she started crying. And I mean that. We owe you a sincere debt of thanks. And I wanted to take this occasion to do that tonight. I know this is a festive occasion. It's your birthday. But the thing that bothers me today, or the thing that I gave a lot of thought to, everyone who took the mic today thanked all of the veterans. And they thanked them from the bottom of their heart. They thanked those who are with us and those who are not with us. We're remembered. But I think it's more important to remember that we still owe you a debt. And those of us in public office, who hold public office, have to make sure that we never diminish what you fought for. And those are the rights that you are entitled to and the benefits that you're entitled to. We've got to make sure that those remain in place and that we never forget what you did. And with that said, I'd like to present a birthday card, and it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the Marine Corps League in recognition of the outstanding and auspicious occasion of the 220th anniversary of the founding of the United States Marine Corps. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. That signed the 11th day of November, 1995 at the State House. Charles Flaherty, Speaker of the House, offered by James Maselli, Assistant Majority Leader. And I have one more. This is nonpartisan, and it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, William Weld, Governor, Arjo Paul Salucci, Lieutenant Governor, the Marine Corps League, in honor of the 220th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps, which is deserving of recognition by all the citizens of Massachusetts, and it's signed the 10th day of November, 1995, Bill Weld, Governor, Ajo Paul Salucci, and I consider it an honor to call all of you my friends, and thank you for having me here tonight.
Thank you, Jim. Another honored guest that we have present with us is our local representative to the Congress of the United States, Peter Torkelson.
Joe, thanks very much. It's an honor for me to join with all of you. I want to thank Ted Tripp for extending the invitation for me to join with you tonight and say that we're celebrating a great birthday for the Marine Corps. Thank you. I thought if you took my notes, Joe, I was going to be in trouble there. So, as all of you know, on November 10th, 1775, the then Continental Congress created the first Marine Corps for the United States, and it's been a tradition with our country ever since. In 1921, Major General John Lejeune, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, wrote, quote, "In every battle and skirmish since the birth of our Corps, Marines have acquitted themselves with the greatest distinction, winning new honors on each occasion until the term Marine has come to signify all that is highest in military efficiency and soldierly virtue." That statement is as true today as it was in 1921, and that's why we're all proud of our Marines. Now, there are three things I'd like to point out on how we can show our appreciation for all Marines, because you know, once a Marine, always a Marine. For those of you who are veterans, we can show our appreciation by keeping our commitment to you. You fulfilled your part of the bargain. You wore the uniform of our country with pride. You were willing to put your life on the line. And it's important, while we're having the many debates we are in Washington, that we keep an eye on the fact that we have an obligation to fulfill to all of our veterans. And yes, we have decisions to make about the budget, but our number one priority has to be maintaining our commitment to our veterans. Second way we can show our appreciation is for those men and women who are currently wearing the uniform of our country and making sure that they have the equipment and the training they need for whatever mission we ask them to undertake. Now, one area that I'm happy to point out, and this was a group effort, we were able to convince the Base Closing Commission that Hanscom Air Force Base played a crucial role in our nation's defenses. That base will continue to be open and continue to train people for the defense of our country. That's very good news for all of us, certainly for all branches of the services. Also related to that is the fact that we have many of the companies that produce items that our Marines and other members of our armed services use to either protect themselves or to protect others around the world. Very close by is Raytheon, and I'm happy to report that we will have continued funding for research and development for the next generation of Patriot missiles at the Raytheon plant, just one of the items that all of us rely on in what is now an increasingly hostile world that we're asking our troops to go into. As many of you know, we have a situation, whether it's in Somalia or Haiti or Bosnia, many men and women in uniform have been asked to risk their lives. Again, it's important that we give them the best equipment possible and the best training possible. I think many of you will also take great pride in the fact that when Scott O'Grady was shot down over Bosnia, it was the Marines who went in and rescued him, saved his life, and came back, saving every Marine's life as well. And another important way, which my colleague Jimmy Maselli pointed out to, is just for us to say thank you. On Veterans Day, on the Marine Corps' birthday, to say thank you for the commitment that each and every one of you has undertaken. But there's also another way to say thank you as well. A Marine Corps sergeant named Joe Vittori was from Beverly, Massachusetts. He served in World War II. He served in the Korean War. And in the Korean War, he gave his life so that his comrades could live. For that, he was awarded posthumously the Congressional Medal of Honor. I'm very happy to report that earlier this year, acting on legislation that I filed, the House of Representatives voted to ask the Secretary of Defense to name a ship in honor of Marine Corps Corporal Joe Vittori. With that, I'd like to make a presentation to Joe. This is in honor of the Wilmington Tewksbury's 11th anniversary celebration, and this being the 220th birthday of the Marine Corps, is a flag which was flown over the United States Capitol in your honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Representative Torkelson. That flag will fly over our quarters down at the Old South School shortly. There were a couple of people that I missed on the introductions. Father Brown, who's at St. Thomas's Parish, for obliging me to let us have this function here at his hall. And also of the New England chapter of the Chosen Few group. And if any of you looked in the program, you might have noted that there was a past commandant named Thomas Casey. Tom unfortunately passed away this past year, but Lorraine Casey is here with us tonight. And the Marine Corps order from General Lejeune, which was mentioned by Representative Torkelson, is Marine Corps Order number 47, Series 1921. Normally this is read at the Marine Corps functions, but basically at the active basis. But if you're interested in reading it, I have made some copies, and they'll be on the table as you leave the hall tonight. I also made some extra copies of the Commandant's message, if you would like to have a copy of it. And one other thing I would like to clarify, you might have noted that the youngest Marine that came up at the cake ceremony was wearing an Army uniform. John served 7 years in the Marine Corps before he joined the Army Reserve. We will probably be making one sweep through the hall for anybody who would like to buy a raffle ticket for that book that's on display out there on the table. If you didn't get a chance to look at it, this is a real collector's item and has information and sketches and pictorials dating all the way from the Boer War through Desert Storm. I thank you for your attention. What about? This is Thomas Casey's daughter. We'd like to say something to you.
Some of you may remember me from just over a year ago when we all gathered to pay tribute to my father. 6 weeks ago, my father lost his battle that he had been fighting for 17 years. We all know what a great man he was, and we all paid tribute to him a year ago. But something that you may not know is the fact that the sign of a great man is the great friend that he has. My family and I could never thank his fellow Marines and his friends for everything that they did for us for the past years and in his passing. So from my father to all of you, Uncle Forrest,
Thank you, PJ. We will have some music, and at 2200 we'll have our final toast of the evening. Thank you. All Marines, front and center with your toast glass. All Marines, front and center with your toast glass. All Marines, front and center with your toast glass. With your toast glass. With your toast glass.
Where's Hanley? Jimmy!
We're having a toast. You cannot toast without something in your hand. Yeah, I know it. You guys don't look like Marines with an empty hand. Will you all join us in this toast? And before I read this toast, I'd like to say one thing. In the past year, we've lost 3 people from our Wilmington Tewksbury detachment family. 1 year ago today, we lost Charlie Gilbert, past Commandant Charlie Gilbert's wife, Marilyn. Several months ago, we lost our current Commandant's wife, Marilyn. And several months ago also, we lost Tom Casey. Remember them too while we go through this. At 2200, we pause to renew. Larry? At 2200, we pause to renew our vows of friendship with buddies we knew. We recall their faces and their friendly smiles, as in silence we halt and ponder a while. Why, some of us are now gone, and we are still here. Now the duty is ours to show that we care. To us here assembled, the fates have been kind. So we drink a toast to all Marines in the days of old lang syne. For a common bond unites us still, the memories of jungles, swamps, and hills, of ships and battles, of bayonets and guns, and Old Glory flying to signal, well done. Thus, a toast is in order to recall our debt to those who have gone before, to those who lie beneath oceans wet, on native land or foreign shore. We who survive are privileged to wear the green and serve as the very best. Now drink this toast to all Marines still living or at rest. Semper Fidelis.
Semper Fidelis.
Thank you, First Sergeant Larry Ross, our bagpiper. We're now going to have the raffle for this book. This book that you've been looking at in the hallway is mine. The one you're going to get is in a package that's never been opened. The drawing will be made by our current Commandant, Bob Courtney. Go ahead, Bob. The number is 2756-105. 2756-105. It's an orange ticket. 2756-105. 2756-105. Looks like Mr. Sonny Foley, former U.S. Navy. You must show me that ticket. 2756-105. Congratulations, sir. Thank you you very much for coming. See you all next year.
Very, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's any music you'd like to hear, please let us know.
WCTV Incorporated is not responsible for the content, views, or opinions